Welcome to the FPL USA Press Play Podcast. You got Bucks chiming in from frigid, iced out Brooklyn, and I'm joined from a much lovelier part of the country right now. Despite the soggy sorrow season he's having, he keeps coming back for us, our loyal listeners, and for me, his co-host, Brian Chen. How are you, man?
As the season has progressed, I have pontificated and spent many a moment by myself on my walks, not consuming FPL content and being pretty checked out. But I was thinking the other day, it's just a great blessing to have FPL in our lives because once this season is finished, we go again. And I'm just off the fucking boil this year, so I've pretty much tuned it all out. But we're here hanging out, just talking a little shop. And, big NFL, college football weekend. So I had a good time and, happy MLK Day to those who honor it. And here we are, potting again.
Yeah, it was a mega sports weekend in the States for sure. We had the college football national championship. That was fun. NFL playoffs were absolutely insane. And then we had, the actual OG football matches with the Premier League back in our lives on the weekend for game week 22. Brian, did you actually get to catch any matches? I know with your newborn, the weekends are probably a little more hectic.
Yeah, we're trying not to do screen time with the baby. So it's funny trying to catch a few minutes of football on your phone. I'll put it on the iPad mini every now and again, but it's a different viewing experience right now, for sure. But
totally fair.
From the football that I watched, and especially as an Ekatike captainer, I was pretty underwhelmed by all the performances thus far. I would say that this season, there's so much parity, but a lot of these teams just are not attacking like we've seen in seasons past. I've just been underwhelmed. So what's your take here as we've seen 8% of matches this season in the Premier League end in 0-0? 8%.
Yeah, there's already as many 0-0 scoreless draws that there were all of last season. And of course, with 16 game weeks left, which means quick math here, 320 more games to play in the Premier League. We already have more 0-0 clean sheets than we did at this same time, including the entirety of the season prior to last one. So it's just become a much more conservative. Goals are a little hard to come by. This is kind of the Arsenal style impact on the entire league. Teams are playing a lot more conservatively, and winning 1-0 gets as many points as winning 4-2. So I think that's there's a lot more risk aversion in this vintage of the Premier League for sure.
Yeah, not to mention, there's just not that attacking juggernaut like we've seen in the past. We've seen Liverpool and especially City go through big runs where they're hanging 3+ goals. We've seen a few lopsided blowouts from an Arsenal team. They'll run up the score against one of those really poor teams. But this year, it's just a lot of number 8s crashing in the box and attacking a very just depressed forward line where I think I was watching The Wire earlier this week, and the goals per game for forwards is down to like 0.17 this season. It's fucking pathetic.
Holland struggling helps right now for sure.
Yeah, but I think in general, it's like there's not even like there's 4 forwards in the whole game that are like on penalties that are worth considering. And so, last year we were kind of spoiled for choice from the forward line through different spots. Yeah, it's just like this season, there's Thiago, there's Ekatike, there's Holland. And even then, you're just like, oof.
Krupi Jr., don't leave that guy out.
Yeah.
He might be the hero we all need.
I'm just like bored. Like, why is this lull happening? But maybe we'll get out of it. We've got some double game week, some other action. So maybe the game will help us get re-engaged as we attack some of the more fun moments where we activate chips and there's more chaos. But right now, it's just like, how many game weeks have we had just like in the 40s and 50s? Like there's just been like a constant drag of like, oh, I got one 8-pointer for my defender. That was a green arrow.
Yeah.
Just Drek.
the value of the kind of less exciting parts of the sport have become incredibly valuable from an FPL perspective, right? Like defensive contributions,
Yep.
the clean sheet, the successful dribbles and successful passes. All of a sudden, that's really translating to a lot of extra points on a week in and week out basis. So for sure, it's a different game than we've ever seen or played in the past. Before we go and recap our scores, I just want to give you some comfort, Brian, that you're a first-time new dad. So once you have multiple kids, or once you're just beyond exhausted, past the pale of trying to fight the good fight, screens are not they don't have that same bad reputation in our home.
It's hilarious.
In fact, they're welcome members of our family on a regular basis, because we only have 4 hands between me and my wife, and there are 3 kids, so we have to play some zone defense with the TV becoming kind of our man marker at times.
That's right. All right, enough macro points, but man, yeah, just the football this weekend. How'd your FPL?
All right, let's get to it. You're in a mood already, so let's just put the microscope and tilt it towards the sun to really put the flame on you. How'd you score in game week 22, my marching ant, Brian?
32 points.
Oh, no, with a 3 in front of it. No.
32, yeah. I moved Cunha to Morgan Rogers, and he amassed 0.8 XG in that match and shat the bed. And then I, going for the vibes, I throw a Ekatike cap on. I swerve the Holland, blank early on. And you're like, okay, home Burnley. Can Liverpool score?
I thought you were gonna fly
2 goals in the match, and fucking nada. Just an embarrassing performance. He had a couple chances, but yeah, it's you try and target some of these bottom teams, but they've actually held up all right. Like Wolves are in a little bit better moment. Burnley's finding a way. Leeds have found a few matches where you're like, oh, away to Newcastle or something, and they've been showing up, which has been frustrating to try and find where the FPL points are going to be. But
for sure.
I got a sea of fucking 1s and 0s, -1 in my team. I haven't even logged in to look at the team, but yeah, dude, it just, and then every time that I've gone against Holland, he's actually blanked 4 times where I've captained another player, and all those players have either gotten a 5-pointer or blanked. So it's just been, trying to make up some ground and can't even get a little bit of lady luck on the side. So, and then did I mention I had a Dorgu first bench 15-pointer? So good analysis out there.
I was waiting for you to go there. I'll go next. I land on 44 points, squeaked enough for the slightest of green arrows, but I'll take it. I had a monstrous 25 points on my bench. That is not how I drew it up, but I will take it all the same. I was really saved by my defense. I have Thiaw, I had double Arsenal clean sheet, and then I had my kind of season keeper right now, Mukiele. I'm strumming right along with the guy. He is been one of these kind of incredible bright spots of many managers' season, and Sunderland defense have just been absolute gold for FPL points and value based on where they started out. Outside of those 4 guys in my defense, Enzo Fernandez returned. That was it. That was all I needed for a green arrow in an otherwise low scoring game week. 40 points was the average across the community. So again, that's not great, and wasn't helped by a lot of managers getting the Manchester Derby predictions way wrong, because Manchester City just got absolutely boat raced by their crosstown rivals, Manchester United. And because of that, a lot of managers had Man United assets on the bench or in the sell out department of their FPL squad. So pretty unfortunate to log in and see, many managers have triple City and maybe Captain Holland. And you're like, how many points do I have? I'm feeling really good. 3-0, Surely I have 28 points. No, 4 points, maybe even less it was a rough day out for many regarding that opening fixture. Unless you were the manager of the game week, right, Brian? I mean, this manager had no issues. Sheesh Louise.
No. There are issues here. I'm taking a look at this in our rundown here. The manager of the game week ends on 76 points. All right, 76 points. But of course, he captained Sheshko and auto subbed off for Ekatike, vice captain. What a crapshoot. Oh my god. But yeah, he's got Sanchez in goal, 11-pointer. Mukiele 6, Thiao 9, Gabriel 8, Dorgu 15, of course. Then he's got Verts, the Fee, 10 and 8 points respectively, and then a bunch of other gobbledygook. But that's all it takes to get 76 points.
He had more points in defense than most teams had in the entire game week. He had 49 points from his 5 defenders. Massive congratulations to Squad Mole and their manager, John Ever Mole. And I think this is really timely because we are recording on Tuesday, so we have had the chance to see some Champions League action. And there was a striker from Bodo Glimt with the same
Bodo Glimt,
Scandinavian O. Yeah, and he had a brace, and I feel like John Iver also had a brace in Game Week 22. Bravo to all the Scandinavians who are absolutely slapping ass in FPL this season.
Yeah, first you called him Ivor, and then you wisened up and went with Iver.
It's Bon Iver, it's Joan Iver here.
Yeah.
Congrats to you. Get in our DMs and tell us stupid Americans how to pronounce your, I'm sure, beautiful name. How about that?
49 points in defense. Good Lord. Well, I just can't believe that you have City, Liverpool, and Arsenal just put in these shifts this weekend. Just fucking pathetic, these teams.
We should just talk kind of big picture.
I'm also very bitter because I backed my wallet with Arsenal thinking, all right, now's the time. They've seen City lost. Liverpool dropped.
Play late.
They play late. All they got to do is win 1-0 like they always fucking do. And, of course, they rotate. Saka starts on the bench. Absolute snooze fest. It's just... And then,
that was such a miserable watch. I joked in our mini league chat.
At least you had double defense.
You basically were just watching, paint dry in that match. It was so uninspiring. But, we should give credit where it's due because right now Arsenal are comfortably atop the Premier League. I think there's a pretty clear gap between them and the rest of the 19 teams that's forming. And then you look in kind of global or European competition, they're head and shoulders in the lead in Champions League as well. So this is coming from quite a biased and jaded Chelsea fan, but massive kudos and plaudits to Arteta and Arsenal on the campaign they're putting together right now. They really
alive for the quad right now?
I believe so.
They might be.
I believe so. And I mean, Champions
League, this could be the year. This could be the year. I have to say,
Champions League, the fact that they are positioned where they are, they're going to get midweeks off when some of the teams that are chasing them, specifically City and Aston Villa and Dare to Dream, I say Chelsea, we're going to be playing pretty much every 3 days until the end of March. And Arsenal, with their 7 points in hand, they're going to be getting more rest than the teams they're going directly against. So I think just you have to be very impressed and give the appropriate amount of credit to what Arsenal have done on the pitch so far this season.
Yeah, Manchester City are just trotting out Kusanov and some fucking guy I never even heard of for multiple game weeks in a row. And I'm just like, he can't get back in there soon enough. They're hurt. He will. Getting torn up. They're getting torn up, man.
Last 2 things I do want to shout out before we get into the Game Week 23 preview, and that's specifically around injuries and some transfer movement. So we do know, darling, cheap enabler in midfield, Marcus Tavernier, he's injured, didn't look good, probably out for... He hits the penalty, but then he has to go off injured. So that means kind of more chaos, more uncertainty around Bournemouth's attack. And they are one of the teams that have a green field of fixtures coming up. And then Chelsea also are dealing with flu in their team. You're going to see even more rumors and even more rotation when it comes to their Champions League match tomorrow. And so just be advised, if you are planning to make early transfers, you need to know this information before you go and bring in someone like Cole Palmer or Enzo Fernandez, who Enzo specifically is one of the players who missed training today with flu symptoms.
I actually was going to ask you about him, so that's a wait and see, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and then last but not least, before
it's cold out there in England right now. It's looking a little.
Tis the season to get sick, especially if you have young kids like Enzo does. Last but not least, a guy who gets sick because he goes partying too hard. Jack Grealish actually seems like he suffered a stress fracture to one of his feet in training. The early reports are it's not going to be weeks, it's going to be months. So that is really bad news if you have Jack Grealish in your team, specifically because Everton, this was the good fixture period for them, and he was the only real fit FPL relevant attacker, and now you're going to be forced into making a transfer. So just wanted to make sure our listeners knew all that information before we flip the script and fast forward to game week 23, where I think we should turn our attention right now. How's that sound, Brian?
You tell me about it, Bucks. What's the apple of your eye for game week 23?
More FPL torture for you.
Yeah. I'm wildcarding in 24. So next episode, we'll at least talk about my wild card, which is a little bit more fun to imagine scoring points in this godforsaken game. But
I might be on wild card too, but I'm definitely gonna be having a different team than you. I don't want to be suffering anywhere close to the fate that you're enduring this season.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some fucking weirdos in my team. Let me tell you, because that's to me is the only players who are scoring points.
You're gonna have like Nathan Ake as captain.
Nah, Lafie, DCL, like give me all the scrubs and we'll put them all in one place.
All right, let's talk about the scrubs first. These are the FPL matches, or these are the Premier League matches, to target for FPL hauls. It's getting a little harder to kind of pinpoint where these matches are, as you mentioned, Brian. Kind of the bottom of the table is starting to at least put some fight into their performances. And there's been a lot of stumbles towards the top of the table. But we don't need to look that hard. Let's start with Sunderland at West Ham. West Ham, a team in crisis. I think there is a non-0% likelihood that Sean Dyche could be seeing the axe. Sean Dyche, Nuno. I think Nuno might be seeing the axe from West Ham if they drop points at home to Sunderland. Personally, I'm favoring Sunderland. I think they're going to come in and shut it down and probably get the result. 2-1 to the visitors.
And they got through AFCON in pretty good shape. I thought they fared much better than I thought they were going to after losing five or six players?
Nine players, yeah,
something like that. So well done. Like they're clearly going to stay up, and yeah, man. I feel like
they could be dreaming of European football. Why can't they finish 8th?
Does that count for Europe? It was the
5, then 2, then 1. 5, 2, 1.
Man, too much football for these teams. I guess
you agree with that, Lean?
But
you think West Ham have a chance?
Suck. No,
they're in trouble. Paqueta leaving is just going to leave such a huge hole in.
Are they even rumored to get anybody? When's the window close? The end of the month?
Another 2 weeks. We got time.
Yeah, okay.
They'll take David Datro Fofana from Chelsea. That would be great.
They need to get that one fucker from Ted Lasso to just run the show there. Who's the guy that goes over and
Nate? Yeah, hammers? Evil Nate.
Yeah, Evil Nate. Yeah, get him over there to sort West Ham out. Oof, rough times, man. Rough times for friend. Rough times if your name is Dan. We got Fella at FPL Fella. We got Dan watching Wolves. It's rough.
Speaking of Wolves, you're a pro at this. Wolves travel to face Manchester City at the Etihad. Now, if Haaland scored in the derby, I was thinking last week, I even mentioned it to my wife when we were getting ready for bed. I was like, I might be wild and triple captain Haaland. Everyone else is talking about double game weeks. Wolves stink. Man City good. Pile on Holland at home in one of these plus fixtures. But the guy is just ghosting. He has 0 open play goals in the last 8 matches, the longest stretch of his Premier League career, and definitely the worst he's looked since being at Manchester City. So I have a very weird feeling about this game. I think there's going to be lots of rotation. I think it's going to be tight. I think this is 3-2. Manchester City have just enough, but it's not convincing. I think there's going to be tons of goals in this game.
It's a lot of goals, Bucks. You know who else is falling off the map? Is Mr. Phil Foden. He has 13 points in his last 6 game weeks. Where the fuck did that guy go?
Yeah,
the form of City, way down in the dumps.
He's missing more chances than he is alimony payments right now. It's not a good situation.
Jeez, that was
straight off page 6. Let's keep it going.
That was something.
The best matches in real life this game week. I actually think this is a wildly entertaining slate of matches across the Saturday, Sunday, and bonus Monday fixtures. Aston Villa at Newcastle. These are teams that are kind of developing a rivalry for kind of the next best team outside the Big Six. And Newcastle are home, which means that Bruno Guimaraes is guaranteed to get a double-digit haul. So he should, of course, be on your watch list. I think Newcastle have enough. I don't think this is a clean sheet type of match. 2-1. Maybe 2-2 is more realistic. 2-2.
Draw,
and they split the points. Yeah.
A draw would be fun. I have both Morgan Rogers and Gordon and Thiao, or whatever the fuck his name is, in my team for this one. So it's classic.
Might have to bench Morgan Rogers kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely not. I got.
He's also gone like 4 games with no attacking returns.
Yeah, I mean he amassed a big XG in the last one. He looked pretty good. Just didn't put it in the back of the net. So, but Anthony Gordon is a player who's coming off at like 61 minutes or playing like 52 minutes. So that guy's got to fucking be punted into the sun.
Yeah, the Princess Diana lookalike is not delivering the FPL points this season, despite the promise of being on penalties and being in a plus attack. Not great times right now.
It's Bruno G is the only one. I wouldn't want Wissa, Voltamade. It's not happening.
Miss me with that Vissa
Lewis
call.
Hall came back. Lewis Hall came back on the left, and he's the one who's like overlapping and getting more further forward in the box than Gordon, and that's a big problem. So anyway,
he looks good.
2-2.
9-pointer for Hall. Yeah, he's also on set pieces, so I think he's an interesting one for wild card. But the Newcastle fixtures, the good fixtures might be passed. You feel that's accurate?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Do the fixtures matter? I think there's one good team in the league, and ish. I mean, I'm not for these mid-table teams. They're all mid-table. They're all mid-table.
That's true.
I'm down.
Kind of like us. Yeah, 4th to 15th is kind of like anyone could beat anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Last but not least, go ahead.
We got to call out Arsenal and Manchester United. Manchester United coming off of a big W in their home city versus the Citizens, and now travel to play an Arsenal team.
The Kings of Manchester, I think you meant to say. Back in Royal Red.
Yeah, the Manchester Orchestra is playing behind them. All right, man. So what are you thinking with this game? Are we going to see Carrick like turn this around, or is it just a 1-game sample size bounce? Like, what are we expecting in this one?
I was hype. I think the players were hyped to see the new manager come in, the new voice in the locker room. Clearly, they played much more expressive and expansive football in that Manchester derby. Just seems like it's a much happier team. Also helps that you're playing some of your better young players like Kobe Mainu, and then you push your best player, Bruno Fernandes, into his kind of optimal hurt the other team position as attacking midfielder in the 10. I think there's goals in this, and I really don't feel great about starting double Arsenal defense, but I'm locked into it for at least one more game week. So I think this is 2-1 Arsenal get points, but I could also see it being 1-1. And this is just Arsenal keep amassing. They don't lose, but they don't keep growing the gap between them and the rest of the league. What's your prediction?
I'm going to say 2-0 to Arsenal.
Set piece goal?
Of course. Come on.
Yeah.
What else do they do?
That's how they do it. They drew it up
it'll be
on
a
the training pitch.
A Rice 6 to 9 pointer, and then clean sheets galore.
It's the new normal.
Dorgu,
Declan Rice is kind of the most important, right? He's the most important player.
Yep, good pick. Dorgu, though, do you start him this week? Is he your 11th man? He's had
I don't think so.
A decent amount of attacking opportunities. Like, you're not expecting a clean sheet, but is he the one who maybe nabs a goal late?
No, I don't see it. I think we get back to a more standard lineup. I think we'll see Cunha, Mbomo, and Sesko all start, and then we see Bruno kind of immediately behind them, and that means Dorgu's playing back in a more defensive role or on the bench. So he's going to be on my bench going into game week 23 for sure.
Yeah, you saw Carrick start all the senior citizens in the back. You got Maguire, Shaw, Dallo, Martinez. Yeah, I would assume that Dorgu. I mean, he scored. Like, can you drop him right away? I don't know.
This is a tactics over making friends kind of fixture.
Let's be honest. You can't have Luke Shaw up against Bukayo Saka. That is fucking mincemeat. There's no way that's going to happen. So at least Dorgu probably starts, gets filleted in 64 minutes, and then Shaw comes on. But you can't start Shaw against Saka, right?
Who knows, Brian? We were saying the same thing last game week. Manchester City, they're going to come in. They're just the much better side. They always win this fixture, and turned it on its head. So,
hey, dude, props to our guest last week at Holy Pinto. Eamon was saying, he's like, anything could happen in the Darb, and he was right.
Yeah, especially the early kickoff derby. He hate or love to see it, depending on who you're rooting for in that early kickoff.
God,
I think with that, let's get into my favorite segment of our episodes. We want to shout out our followers and listeners to our podcast, and also highlight the awesome members of the hashtag FPL community. So we got our mailbag. Brian, mailbag.
We got 3 questions this week. At Run CMC wants to know, when is it time to go for Palmer? Cold World. What you thinking? What you feeling? What's your vibe? Vibe check.
All right. I think seeing the lineup tomorrow in Champions League will be very instructive about how fit Cole Palmer actually is, because he did play the full 90, and then at full time he kind of dropped down to his tush and was clearly grabbing in discomfort at his recently back from injury groin area, and he didn't really celebrate his goal in the biggest way. So the vibes are a little bit off right now around Cole Palmer. That being said, I still think it's worth wildcarding in 24 to target those Chelsea fixtures, even if Cole Palmer only plays in, say, 2.5 of them or 3 of them. So I think that's a calculated risk. That being said, if the whole team has flu and Cole Palmer is also not 100%, then maybe you could just save the wild card and kind of push it back to like 30 or 31, when we'll definitely know the doubles and be able to navigate it that way. So I am not making any plans for Bukayo Saka and that funds that he has and the available money that I have in my team until after I see the Chelsea lineup and performance in Champions League. I think we'll learn a lot by who's in the lineup and starting, who's on the bench, and who's fully missing out. You will learn a lot tomorrow.
Okay, so just to clarify, you're not going to use Bukayo Saka to fund Palmer right now. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't make the move in 23. I guess if 24, you just got to wait one more because of the midweek match. And then again, they will play Arsenal in the second leg of the League Cup also in the next couple weeks. So it's a busy time for Chelsea with a lot of important matches. So again, I want to know that Palmer is going to start and be fit. I don't want to bring him in and then use another transfer right away kind of thing.
Which one is the League's Cup again? Is that the Woolworths Cup or the Tesco?
Yeah,
Disco?
the Carabao Cup.
Oh my
Something
God.
like that.
Okay. All right.
The Eat Your Wheaties Cup.
All right, good to know. Next up, we have a question from at my Cayman fan. With Tavernier seemingly out for a while, are there any Bournemouth assets to target ahead of their fixture swing? So, in classic fashion, they let the Seagulls back in at the death, and whoever that kid is, moment of his life, right? That's his first ever Premier League goal, I think.
First ever Premier League goal. He's a Greek island boy, just the ripe old age of 18 or 19.
You got
Charalampos. Yeah.
You got to
we'll
do
be
the
eating
Sam
at the Charalampos Tavern soon enough.
The Sam Cassell big balls dance. You know, if you're an NBA fan, you know what that one is, because that is quite a just opportunistic goal to pull off for your first one ever in the Premier League.
I mean, this is how you know that professional athletes are built different, right, Brian? You've never scored a goal in the Premier League in your young life.
You're a teenager. Put him into flight.
Yeah, he chests it off. He's just staring at it, and then he jumps, kicks it with his off foot into the top bins. I mean, in the 90th minute, it was absolutely scenes. And just the storyline continues. Marcus Senesi, absolute fraud. Guy cannot get DEFCON and a clean sheet ever. And I've been saying it from the rooftop. So golly, Mark Senesi. He's the worst. Since Marc Gasol, we haven't had a worse Spanish fraud.
So what's the deal with
Bournemouth?
Tavernier's out. Tavernier's out, and then Clivert is out too?
Also dead. Yeah. Sorry.
And then they don't have families.
And Semenyo's
I would not go near this team. I mean, I have Krupi. I'll just, whatever. But now
Krupi keeps scoring. I will say they're a team that's still going to get chances. So I think the system is bigger than any single player. Now, of course, they're missing they now have turned over their entire first choice defense and their entire first choice attack. So it's a little scary days to say the least.
Yeah.
But I think Evan Nielsen and Krupi Jr. will have some value, specifically Krupi Jr. And I think Brooks is probably the player that will now take penalties. So he could be an option. The fixtures are just so good. I kind of almost will want to have two of them. So that's a consideration for managers looking on a Game Week 24 wild card, is you probably want to have at least one Bournemouth player, I would say. Probably Krupi J is the easiest one to fit in.
Yeah, that's it. It's Krupi J, and maybe don't play him. They play Liverpool this week, so it's just like...
Ouch. Yikes.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have a question from at FPL Paz, the Miami boy. Pazzy. He's probably down in the dumps a little bit after the U take an L, but they weren't supposed to be there anywhere. They're a 10 seed, so
yeah.
It was cool to see Indiana.
I hear he's at the Beckham wedding. This guy's living.
Yeah, he's all over the map. All right, Bruno in 23 for Fodinho. No. I mean, Wolves at home after a number of bad performances, you just get Bruno in 24.
The thing is, at some point, we have to give Foden and Pep credit that Foden's just absolutely nailed. He started, I think, 20 straight matches. So he wouldn't be the one I would sell just yet. I think if you were looking to move off the Manchester City triple up, probably Cherky and or Nico O'Reilly are the ones that should make way first. And that would be the way that I would play.
We talking mids though. He's got to fucking swap out, a high price midfielder asset to get Bruno in. I would wait.
Why not just wait till after the Arsenal fixture? Yeah. Make the transfer the second after the game week turns over.
Arsenal. Skip the best of course,
defense.
Bruno could get something. Like he's when he plays, and especially
he's going to get 4 points minimum. He'll get 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to wild card to get Bruno and probably Cole Palmer into the side and just switch it up. But I don't think you make that move in this Arsenal match. Arsenal just want to muddy up the waters. They're going to learn from the mistakes that City made last week. They're not going to play as high of a line. So I just don't see this as the one where Bruno snaps into action. And yeah, that's just me though. If you want to go for it, I guess, but surely you have other pressing matters than Foden at home versus Wolves.
Yeah, I would say probably last chance saloon for
Yeah.
one Phil Foden. And you can say that for probably him and whoever your third Manchester City asset is.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody else on your watch list, Bucks, after catching some footy this weekend? Anybody else catching the eye? Can you tell us? So, like, some people are looking at Chelsea in 24 for wild card.
Yeah, I would say
Chalobah seems
Chalobah.
to be.
Chalobah was a player that I
Chalobah's
thought was
good
really
pick.
good. 9-pointer. The
5-5.
thing with him is that whenever they get a clean sheet, he is fantastic for bonus points. And he does offer a little bit of attacking gumption. So I think he's a great pick.
We out here trying to gumption.
Yeah, we're gumming stuff up here, and we're picking up the pieces with
you
some
don't know that
used
Bay
gum.
Area music, huh?
One other player I really like is again, I was looking at kind of planning for a early wildcard draft. Andre Santos is a Chelsea player. I think he's 4.5 million. He's going to play a lot under the new manager Rossinier. He scored double-digit goals and assists last season. He could be a great enabler at 4.5 million. And then beyond that, I think Garner.
What are you going to tell me next? Chimpong?
I did. I don't know what the situation
You're pretty
is.
bullish.
They're buying all these young players, but they won't play the awesome young talents they have in the building. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Another one is Mane. I think I wanted to shout him out as well. He's the Wolves striker. Somehow he is kind of benching Strand Larson right now, which doesn't make much sense to me.
I thought he's playing more than 10. We need a
he's playing everywhere. Guy keeps starting, which is shocking. Yeah. And there are rumors that both Wolves and Arsenal will have a double game week in 26. That will be due to some of the fixture congestion in Europe and in the cups.
Give me 4 fucking points, Mane, in a double game week.
Yeah, come on. The chance, the dream.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's cheap as chips. So he's another player that, if you have tons of free transfers and not flaming holes of dog shit across your squad, he could be a good, easy move to create some flexibility in the game weeks ahead.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, man, this Chelsea run. Crystal Palace, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. That's why you wild
going.
Card.
Keeps going.
Wild card. You hope you spike a few of those. Who else has a fixture swing a little bit?
Well, Arsenal's fixtures stay good, and then if you could be patient till 26, Aston Villa also have a really delicious fixture swing that takes place.
So Rodgers. See, Matson's playing a little bit more. Finally supplanting Dean. I was like seeing him run up and down the pitch. I feel like Dean doesn't run very much anymore.
And then I just want to shout out Jordan Pickford because I know we discussed making a Raya swap a couple game weeks ago.
I did. I made the swap.
Yeah, you made the swap.
Dead even right now.
Well, I have to say, just, from a vibes perspective, just feels like every season the guy ends up as, if not the top point scoring goalkeeper, one of the top
Pickford?
3. Yeah, Pickford. And, listen, Everton are not the same caliber defense as Arsenal. No one's saying they are, but the guy is just an absolute FPL points magnet. And he allows you to have 3 different Arsenal players. So I just feel like he's just staring there every season. If I would just shut my brain up and just be like, Jordan Pickford is going to be my starting keeper. Don't think about it for more than just that 1 second. Put him in and put in a cheapie. Yeah. Every season it seems to come good.
Yeah, the only other team I want to call up is probably United. I'm looking at a potential double up of Bruno and Bumo on wild card.
Ooh, okay.
Fulham at home, Tottenham home, West Ham away, Everton, Crystal Palace, a decent block of 5. I don't know. Just looking at different.
They're
the
best attack right now in the Premier League, based on the advanced stats. They take the most high quality shots, and they generate the most XG from those shots of any team in the Premier League.
No midweek football.
It's important.
All right, I'm sick of these fucking rotating Anthony Gordon and Saka and all these other merchants just playing limited minutes. I want a team with nothing else to play for other than their livelihood and their spirit and respect from the fans. So might be on a Man U double up coming up on Wildcard.
I have one question for you, and this is a little team specific, but I'm sure it applies to many across the FPL community, and that's what to do with Ekitike, because he is really expensive, and he's just flat out fallen off.
He has crushed the last 2 game weeks too. His XG in the last 2, because I captained him 2 game weeks in a row, where he's blanked on both. Oh my goodness,
he's getting good chances. Yeah, he's getting good chances into the right spots, not rewarding managers with FPL 6 points.
Total shots in the last game, 0.67 XG. Pretty solid.
That's good.
And then the week before, also pretty good. It's just like, are you going to like show up and get the job done? Oy.
So what do you think? If you had 2 free transfers, you have a little bit of flexibility. You using one of them to sell, kind of bring some money back into your bank account for Ekitike, or you give him Bournemouth, and then maybe if you're using a chip, he's not a flaming pile of red alert that you need to move out.
I mean, yeah, I wish I never made the Ekitike move and had Thiago for his 36 points or whatever in a couple of game weeks.
Hindsight, but you move Ekitike now, or you hold.
Who are these frauds playing this weekend?
Bournemouth away.
Bournemouth, pretty shite. Ekitike cap for me, baby. Let's go.
3 in a row.
Three in a row.
Three's gonna do it.
He's got to beg a single goal, right? God damn. Yeah, I'm on Ekitike cap now that you said it. Let's go.
Okay, I like it. And we should give credit where it is due. Noni Madueke continues to blank his life away as a excellent signing for Arsenal. But one big money transfer that is come good recently is Florian Wirtz. He has been a game week hero for a number of managers. I think he had 10 points. I think it's his 3rd double-digit return in like 6 game weeks. So if you were bold enough to go there, he looked more like a double agent. 5. Yeah, so.
Yeah, he's been on a nice little tear since game week 14. 7, 3, 5, 8, 10, 3, 10, 3, 10. That's what we expected him to start with at the beginning of the season when he was in our squad. So
a lot of threes that you kind of buried between those 10s, but you take those 10 points in the way these points are coming.
3? He's playing. That means he's playing 90 minutes, or he's playing enough minutes to get 3 points. I got half my fucking team get 1-pointers from these bastards. 3 points. If I could get 3, I got -1s, -2s in my side, man. 3 points. Greedy.
It's not how you drew it up in the locker room, to say the least. Let's go to our final segment, our transfer plans and captaincy shows.
All right, Ekitike cap. We just figured it out live. Fuck it. That's what's happening from my side. We'll see. 3rd time's a charm. Just ride off into the bleak sunset and just into the shadows. So Ekitike cap for me.
Are you taking any more hits this game week?
No, I didn't take a hit last week. I just did 1 transfer. So who do we got in the side? I mean, I got to start Dorgu or Krupi. Who do you start between those 2 players?
Krupi, of course. The Krupp.
The Krupp away at Liverpool, or no, home versus Liverpool?
No, home form. Come on.
Ooh. They got like their C squad out there.
Iraola is a genius. It's going to be a coaching as imbalanced as the talent disparity is on the pitch. The managerial talent disparity off the pitch is equally unbalanced in the reverse way. So I think, of course, Liverpool are the far more talented side. Bournemouth, the far better manager.
Bournemouth is in 15th.
They sold their whole team, dude.
Manchester United. Do you know they're in 5th place? They're sitting above Chelsea.
They're ahead of us.
That's not good for us. That's not good.
Only by 1 point, baby. Come on. Believe.
I know. I'm just saying they got nothing to concentrate on. We got to fight 8 different fronts and then fight with our transfer fees too on top of it. So
yeah.
All right.
Presumably we got those young legs. Boys shouldn't be tired.
They're tired.
Remember when you were in your 20s?
Yeah. Oh man, I would get wasted all the time and then just go to basketball at 6:30 the next morning, just spry as a daisy, my friend. All right,
Yeah, no
so what
hangovers.
would you think about Gordon? I got Gordon. Should I move for Enzo, or should I what's the play? Should I get Declan Rice? Those are kind of my options in that
Yeah,
tier.
I would go for Rice. I like
Yeah,
that. I think this is a great Declan Rice match, as are all of them. I think he could get DEFCON. I think he could probably get an assist. And it just seems like he has so many routes. He probably has the most avenues to points of any single player in the FPL game. So
yeah.
if you've had him all season, you are definitely inside the top 250K, let alone probably even higher than that.
I mean, or should I just keep Gordon and then
Probably
roll
just
the
keep
transfer? So
one more game week, then have him
and,
for after you wild card.
yeah, because I'd like to have 2 transfers out of wildcard in case I make a big fuck up, which this season is very likely
High
to happen.
likelihood.
Yeah, high likelihood. So it's just like, maybe I just eat the shit game week of a 2-pointer or 1-pointer, and then just I mean, I guess did Newcastle play today or they play Champions League tomorrow? I didn't follow today.
They play tomorrow, hosting
Okay.
PSV, so they don't have to travel this week at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just drowning with work. All right, so yeah, I think maybe I'll just roll Ekatike cap, and then I'll wild card in 24, and we'll mix it up. But we'll have 2 free transfers in 25. And if I go with that strategy, you got to start stacking transfers to address the doubles and blanks and stuff. So, can't be bothered to be making moves. Talk to me, Goose. What do you got for us?
All right, Caboose. I have 2 free transfers and 2.8 million in the bank. I'm going to be captaining, potentially triple captaining Erling Haaland. I won't know that until after I sleep on it. And
you're taking on so much. You're having a decent season, Buck. So you're taking on so much risk to not have chips in the double game weeks later on when everyone else is using their chips.
I think that's true, but I also think that there's something to be said about just
how informed Haaland is. Is that what it is?
Home
that
fixtures
his form really
no, it's not. But that being said, right? It's like if there was ever a fixture to come good in, it's what are they saying in training? We just don't want to score goals. We're not going to feed the best goal scorer in the Premier League history. Like, what is Pep doing in the locker room if not telling everyone pass the ball to the fucking goal scoring robot against the team that is guaranteed to be going down this season? So
Wolves are on the up, baby.
Maybe we're overcomplicating it, right?
Wolverhampton Dans are going to stick it in you if you triple cap.
So to that point, the reason I'm kind of scared off of the triple captain is also the reason why I'm now considering selling Nico O'Reilly to a non-Manchester City player. So that just feels like such a stupid use of a free transfer, but one that I feel like I'm almost bullied into making because he played the full 90 today, midweek, didn't look great. Manchester City defense looked horrible again. Wolves are now scoring goals, so I don't think that's a clean sheet, even if he does start.
Well, you would think that Pep would also let Ran play his old team coming back from AFCON.
But they played Nico O'Reilly in midfield today, which was a massive failure of an experiment. So
yeah, I'm just saying, you would think that he would not play left back because Nori's going to play against his old team out of respect.
Who knows? No? I really just feel like it's Haaland and Foden and Donnarumma. Those are the only players right now that are nailed for Manchester City. Even Dias hasn't been nailed the way he has been in seasons past. So I feel like Nico O'Reilly is the spot that I can improve in. And I'm really tempted. To go for Chalobah. I just feel like that is an easy swap.
You can afford that?
Yeah, I have 2.8 million in the bank. I have so much money to spend.
Where'd all that Skrilla come from?
Well, I sold Cunha down to Enzo after selling Bruno down to Cunha. So I basically have sold Bruno to Enzo in the last 5 game weeks in order to do Thiago up to Ekatike, but then I kind of reversed the funds from those moves. So,
God, stupid fucking game. You make all these moves to end up in the same place.
I mentioned to you and Dan Blackwolf that one of the posts that I love every season as we get later into the year is
No,
kind of
don't even speak it into existence. So we hate those posts.
The best
Gross.
unengaged manager. And it's just like, I talk to my wife. I have 3 kids. You know, I have other things that are pulling on my time, right? And we do this podcast. I'm always doing the research. This guy is 190 points ahead of me. He hasn't made one free transfer all season.
It's rough.
I mean, come on. Call me an idiot to my face, FPL admin. Damn it.
Yeah. Look, if you're going to wildcard in 24, I would not. I would just bank the transfer potentially.
You think so?
But if you are, let's see how things play out over the next couple of days and pressers and whatnot. But I would do not make an early transfer, especially since you have so much money in the bank. This is a Friday night transfer type of thing. Don't.
Yeah, and I think going into this, right, the reactionary move was going to be Saka and Foden out. Saka to Palmer, Foden to Bruno is kind of the upside chasing move. But I just feel like Foden he's not getting dropped. He looks shit. His performances have been shit. Keep starting. So I don't think that Wolves at home is the one that they're going to change it in. Especially, they need a win. They need a comprehensive 3-point performance.
All right, so I digress. We've gone long.
All right, sorry.
No, it's all good. I got to do dinner time and bath time. I'm busy over here as well. I got to get through bedtime. So thank you very much for tuning in to our Game Week 23 preview. Bucks and I are going coast to coast every week. We're talking taking some spicy takes to us to each other each week, and follow us at FPL USA Press Play. Until next time, which will be wildcard episode. I'm 100% nailed on wildcard, so we'll talk about that next week.
Can't wait. Follow us on social, subscribe, and give us a follow. Set the notification bell on YouTube. We are really looking to grow there, and we love you. Good luck for Green Arrow this game week, and enjoy all the footy that is back for our viewing pleasure. Thank you, Brian. Peace. It's been an absolute treat to record with you once again.
Lots of F-bombs from me today. Let's go.